This is a production of the Gold Arrow Podcast Network. Hello and welcome back to the Gold Arrow Camp Podcast, a podcast for friends of Gold Arrow Camp. Throughout the year, we join you to bring your day some of what makes Gold Arrow special. Our goal is to help you have fun, make friends, and grow throughout the year, not just when you're at GAC. Since we can't get together in real life, we gather here around the virtual campfire on the podcast. We have some of your favorite parts of Morning Assembly like wows and joke of the day. We have interviews with experienced campers, some of your favorite counselors, and we even throw in a little bit of Poetry Corner. We think it's a lot of fun, and we're glad you joined us here on the GAC Podcast. This is podcast episode 4. Today we're talking with Kettle about having fun and being happy. We like to start the podcast with some positive affirmations and thoughts as you go out into your day, or maybe you're working or driving as you listen to us. We want to make that a little bit better. Here you go. Today's a brand new day, and that means you get to create your own best day. And you, the creator of that best day, you're better than sparkles and unicorns combined. Today is going to be awesome. One of the other things we like to do here on the podcast, read some wows. That's right. A wow is a shout out to somebody, maybe a thanks, maybe a congratulations for doing something. You can send your digital wows, wow@goldarrowcamp.com. We read them here on the podcast. Or you could hashtag us on Instagram or on Twitter, #GACWow, and we check those before we record the podcast. Or I just returned from the GAC party in Southern California, and we took wow pads with us, and people wrote some wows. Here they are. You can hear the actual, do you hear that? The actual paper of a wow. So just like honey and Cheerio before her, now I read some Gold Arrow Camp wows. Wow to Butter for being so funny and always asking to hear my funny stories. From Bravo. Wow to Sterling. Thank you for being so kind and helpful these past years at camp. That's from Rachel, Cabin 4. To Hootie and Pip. Thank you for singing to us at night when you knew you couldn't sing. Love you guys so much. You made my 5th year very special. Heart, Rachel. To Saskia. Thank you for being so special, smart, and loving. From Mom and Dad. See, it's a family getting in on the act. To Remy. Thanks for always being an amazing friend for the past 9 years. You are awesome. Macy. And our last wow for the podcast today. To Dove. I am writing you a wow because you did the zip line. From Gus.
We have some poems for you. I like poems. We like to start off Poetry Corner with some well thought out haikus.
Final song. Don't let this be it. Worry not, for we will hear it many more times.
There we go. Oh, Kettle, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me, Soy.
I'm so excited that you're here.
I'm so excited to be here.
So good. All right, so for people who don't know you, could you tell us a little about who you are and how you came to be at Gold Arrow and what you do at camp?
Oh gosh, it's really not an exciting story. So I'm Kettle. Oh gosh, I almost said my real name. I'm out of practice from camp.
Oh, we're giving it away.
I know. All my campers already know. I'm a junior at the University of Maryland. I came upon Gold Arrow Camp because I go to school in Maryland, live in Maryland, and I wanted to go somewhere fun. So I Googled best summer camps in California and happened upon Gold Arrow, applied, heard back from the lovely Bean within like a week, and bada bing, bada boom, there you go, landed at Gold Arrow.
And so what do you do at camp?
At camp, I have the best job ever of being a group counselor to the youngest girls at camp. So I'm the person that goes around to all the activities with the 6, 7, and 8-year-old campers and help them get acclimated to the new activities and try new things and tuck them in and read them books and wake them up in the morning and all that fun stuff.
So much fun. All right, so
a pretty good gig.
It's a pretty good way to earn a living, right?
Yeah, a pretty good way.
All right, so you didn't mention it because you're too humble to mention it, I think, but you won Coach's Award this year, which for people who are listening who don't know, is an award that we give to a person who motivates their peers because of their positive attitude, their encouraging words. It's something that like other counselors nominated you for. How did it feel when Sunshine called your name?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's overwhelming, very humbling, it's crazy. So it happens, for people that don't know, at Big Campfire, which is kind of like the wrap up of camp and everything. And I was just worried about, a lot of times that's a hard time for my campers because a lot of times they're falling asleep. It's a very late night,
right.
So my campers don't want to fall asleep. I'm trying to figure out if I should take them back, could they lay on my lap, and then Sunshine's saying all these nice things, and I'm listening, but also focusing on something else. And then she said my name, and it was a lot to take in, and then you have to walk down a lot of steps, and I just wanted to get back to my seat very quickly, but it was very humbling, very nice. It was very, very nice. I don't know.
Well, I think one of the reasons so many people voted for you is actually why we've got you on this episode. We're talking about one of like our core beliefs is that at camp you can have fun and be happy. And you're just so happy all the time. Like, and people can't see this because it's an audio podcast, but literally Kettle, since she's come on the screen, is nothing but a smile. Like, it never stops.
That's what's great about camp.
Right? Okay, so what is it about camp that lets us be so happy, do you think?
Well, I think a big role is just the campers, because they're so excited. This is their 2 weeks or month or however long they're at Gold Arrow that they're at camp, and they want to get the most out of their experience, and they're just so enthused by every single activity, and you get to hear all the random jokes and crazy ideas that go through your mind, especially as a group counselor. You're there on the walks from sailing to the dining porch when they're just like, so why is the frog green? Or, hey, Kettle, I don't know, whatever pops into their mind. So I think it's very imaginative, and kids just say the coolest things, and I just get to be a big goofball with them. So I think that's what makes camp really happy. Also, you guys do such an awesome job of recruiting happy, fun people. It is a core belief at Gold Arrow, and I think that's a big personality trait that you look for in a lot of staff. So you're just surrounded by people that really care about what they're doing every day and working with kids, and it just makes it a great atmosphere to do exactly that, laugh and smile and have fun all day, be goofy.
All right. How do you think people can have fun and be happy more often when they're at home and they're away from camp surrounded by all those goofy people?
Well, I think a big one is something that you guys started this year is the wows, and just continuing that throughout your life is so fun. Just recognizing people saying, hey, I appreciate you, and this is why I appreciate you, is so big. Also, just a big thing that GAC tries to instill in campers and in counselors is just be who you are, and to carry that out into your real world self, to just be as goofy, happy, and weird as you are. And I think that's one way to carry it on into the real world.
All right. I think that's good advice. Do you want to wow anybody on the podcast? You could wow somebody right now, top of your head.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I want to wow. Okay, I want to wow. Well, I think. Okay, is it one wow, multiple wows?
Listen, Kettle, as many wows as you want to deliver, right here.
Okay, well, I want to wow Mocha. She just wrote a really beautiful piece. Shout out, you guys can go find it in the link below on sailing. And she's an amazing writer and is an English major, and she's going to do such great things. Wow to Punky. She's exploring right now. She's abroad in Copenhagen. She's exploring all over the world. So I think that's really brave of her. And wow to everyone. I recently got accepted into study abroad, and Manners has already reached out to me about coming to England, and people are just so hospitable and friendly, so that's so nice. Wow to Sunshine and Monkey, because they just do so much, and you and Bean in the off season, and all the awesome people that work in the office. I want to wow Baboon, because I saw he was on the last podcast, and podcasts, I've never done one, and he sounded way more eloquent than I ever think I will sound on this.
Not true. You are sounding so eloquent right now. You're wowing like 40 people. It's great.
Wow, that's my last one. Wow to Cheerio, because I saw her cute face on the GAC Instagram recently for the wow things, and she's just such a happy, bubbly, awesome person, and made my day better just seeing her picture.
She makes my day better just by being Cheerio.
I know. Oh, Cheerio. Such a sunshine.
Cheerio. We're going to try and get Cheerio on the podcast to talk about having fun and being happy, I think.
Oh, you should. Yes, definitely do that.
So happy.
Yeah, she'll be great at that. That's perfect.
So a lot of times your campers are at camp for the first time because they're kind of the youngest campers. What advice do you have for campers that are nervous about coming for the first time?
It's natural. A lot of people are nervous, so you're not alone in that. I think that would be my biggest advice. Also, the good thing about camp is that we're busy so much of the day that while it may seem like it's gonna feel like such a long time, the days just go by so quickly because they're so jam-packed with fun. I definitely say talk to your counselor if you're feeling sad about anything because they're trained to help you with this and they're prepared and will make you feel as at home as possible, and the whole staff will go out of their way to make sure that you feel comfortable and happy at camp. So I definitely would say it's okay. We'll work through it together. It's natural.
Right. Outstanding. All right. So you mentioned that you're at school. What do you study?
I do go to school. I'm a junior. I study kinesiology, pre-occupational therapy, which is just a lot of words for I want to work in an elementary school, and I want to be the person that kind of goes into classrooms and helps children with developmental delays learn how to cut and write their name and perform daily living skills. So setting an alarm clock or cooking and stuff like that.
Wow. That sounds cool. How do you use kind of like the lessons of camp at school?
Oh, I guess there's so much of camp that you take into the real world, especially into professional world too. I think one of the biggest things that I use on a day-to-day basis is just patience with yourself and patience with others. So at camp, I'm not the sportiest person. Like, it is very well known I'm not the sportiest person. Like, that is definitely why I'm not a cool rocks and ropes counselor, cool waterfront counselor. So a lot of the activities I tried for the first time too at camp. So you may not be LeBron James superstar awesome your first time, and just setting your own goals and being patient with yourself that it will come with time, and also patient and supportive of others that are trying things for the new time, I think is a really important life skill that I definitely developed at camp and use regularly in my everyday life.
I think that's a really good one. I think everybody learns that at camp. We all have to wait sometimes, and that's a really important skill.
Yeah.
All right, Kettle, it's time for the speed round. We end the podcast interview. The same questions for everybody. No pressure, because I know that you have good answers. Here it comes.
Speed round, okay.
What is your favorite Repeat After Me song?
Oh, Let's Get Loose. Sandwich has to be singing it on stage doing the funkiest dancers. I wish there was a video. There's this one where he does like this worm motion, and it's so great.
Yeah, we're both doing it. Nobody can see it, which is unfortunate, but good for us. Like, he kind of shuffles. I don't know if you've heard, but it starts in yo toes.
In your toes, yes.
Oh, yo toes.
Your toes.
What's your favorite salad bar item?
Salad bar item? Oh, okay. This is new. I actually really wanted to ask Goldie for the recipe of this. And Goldie, if you're listening, maybe I'll hit you up for this recipe. She added an awesome pesto to the salad bar,
and
it is so, so good.
Yes, I think you were not alone. I think a lot of people judging on the amount of pesto we went through. What's your favorite chapstick flavor?
Shout out to Pesto, too, if you're listening. I should shout out
Pesto the counselor and Pesto on the salad bar.
Yes.
Yes. Favorite chapstick?
Favorite chapstick? Watermelon, but I would also be interested in hearing Uncle's review of the new chapstick, how it tastes, and on a scale of 1 to 11.
I would be interested to know what Uncle had to say about Monkey's Mountain Mint. There was such a craze around it. I want to know how Uncle would feel about that. Is it over-promoted? I don't know.
Yes, I'm a classic. Watermelon.
Yeah, it is a classic. Mallows or popcorn?
Mallows.
Mallows, okay. And finally, last question of the podcast. What's your real name? Oh, I'm so sorry. We're all out of time. No time to go into the real name. We'll have to get it the next time we talk to you. Kettle, thanks for being on the podcast.
Oh, thanks so much, Sloy. Have a good day.
In a world with far too much seriousness, Far too much drama. We bring you something different. The joke of the cast. So a dad and his daughter are talking about her career options, and he says to her, "Dear, what do you think you want to do?" And she says, "Well, I've been putting a lot of thought into it, and I think I want to go into the business of cleaning mirrors." Her father's kind of shocked. Cleaning mirrors? He says, "Yeah, it's really something I could see myself doing." And now, it's time for another Gaxpiration with Sunshine.
For this week's Gaxpiration, we have a guest reader. It's Bravo, a JC from summer 2016. Here's Bravo with this week's Gaxpiration.
Hey guys, I just remember this past summer and when I went on a backpacking trip with all the fellow JCs on our first couple days of camp, and I just remember seeing the most stunning colors in the sunset that I have ever seen. And it really makes me think of this quote: "Sunsets, like childhood, are viewed with wonder, not just because they are beautiful, but because they are fleeting," which is by Richard Paul Evans.
And that brings us to the end of another GAC Pog-Cast. Thanks for listening. Really appreciate it. I want to thank Bravo for reading the Gaxpiration, and of course Sandwich for giving us a pretty funny haiku about Final Song. Want to thank GAC for giving us the opportunity to record this. And I want to thank you for listening. If you get a chance, if you like the podcast, if you could rate and review us in iTunes, that helps us a lot to get the podcast out there for people who might not be looking for it. And again, if you have wows, you could email those to us, wow or wows at goldarrowcamp.com. You could tag us on Instagram. You could hashtag it GACWow, Instagram or Twitter. We check those. We'd love to read more wows from you. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I think Kettle's really fun, and I hope that today you can kind of recommit yourself to having fun and being happy. I'm Soy, and I'll save a marshmallow for you.